Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 13, text 17. अविभक्तं च भूतेषु विभक्तम् इव च स्थितं भूतभर्तृ च तज्ज्ञेयं ग्रसिष्णु प्रभविष्णु च. So further description about the super soul is given here. The super soul is in the hearts of everyone. So that is called vibhaktam. Vibhaktam means divided. Vibhaktam iva, as if he is divided. Vibhaktam iva chasthitam, even though he is avibhaktam, he is one. The Supreme Lord is one. His expansion as Paramatma is one. But he appears to be divided in all these different bodies, accompanying different individual souls. So, avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam iva cha sthitam. Bhuta bhartru, he is the maintainer of all living entities. Bhuta bhartru cha tad gneyam. One should understand him to be the Bhuta bhartru, the maintainer. But then Grasishnu also. Grasishnu means he devours. And Prabhavishnucha, he develops also. He devours everyone. By time, he devours everyone. At the time of annihilation of this manifestation, he devours everyone. But then he also brings up their life when there is creation. Prabhavishnu. So these are all the various aspects of the super soul. So Prabhupada explains very nicely how this vibhaktam iva chastitam, even though he is avibhaktam, one, undivided, he appears to be divided. The example Prabhupada gives is that of the sun. The sun at the meridian is situated in his place. But if one goes for 5,000 miles in all directions and asks, where is the sun? Everyone will say that it is shining on his head. In the Vedic literature, this example is given to show that although he is undivided, he is situated as if divided. Also, it is said in Vedic literature that one Vishnu is present everywhere by his omnipotence, just as the sun appears in many places to many persons. So, that is an example. Similarly, when you place water pots in different places, and when there is moonshine, moon, the moon is reflected in all these water pots, isn't it? You can see the moon in all of them. So the moon appears to be divided, even though he is one. That is another example. So the Supreme Lord is one, but he expands, he understands everyone in every body. In fact, when you go to a Devata temple, for example, people, why they go to the temple? From the childhood, we are taught, oh, go to the temple, you should ask some desire from God. In fact, people, they go to the temple, they offer something to God, they ask for some desire. We have many demigods temples, devatas temples. The devatas are actually living entities like us. Jiva. Devatas also have Krishna as Paramatma in their hearts. So how the devatas are able to hear your desires? Because the via media of the super soul. Because you are praying for something, the super soul hears it. And super soul is also there in the heart of that devata. He is conveying it, oh, Your devotee has come, he's praying for this. And then the Devata, whoever, whatever the benediction is given, it has to be sanctioned by Krishna only. Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktah shraddhaya chitum ichchati tasya tasya chalam shraddham tameva vidadhamyaham labhate cha tatah kaman mayaiva vihitan hitan. The desires are satisfied and it is sanctioned because of Krishna only. Mayaiva vihitan hitan. See, the devotee wants to make, oh, I want to worship this demigod. He will give me all riches. See, that faith is intensified because that is his desire. Wants to worship that particular devata. Krishna intensifies, oh, you want to have faith on this devata? Then you go and do like this. And Krishna only is sanctioning. Ye yadha mam prapadyante tam tathaiva bhajamyaham. However, you want to approach God, Krishna, he will reciprocate accordingly. If you want to approach only him and get pure love, he will reciprocate. He will direct you in such a way that you will get pure love. But if you want material benefits and you want to do that through demigods, Krishna will guide you also like that. However, you approach Krishna to that way, he reciprocates. But his actual wish is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. Like the father, for example, is a big businessman, this big enterprise he's got. He needs his son to take care of all these enterprises he has started, industries he has started. And he's been training, counseling, and he advises him constantly to do that. But the son, let's say because of bad association, he wants to go away. He wants to become a vagabond. He wants to become a spendthrift. So, what will the father do? He leaves that to the free will of the son. He'll provide whatever he wants. Okay, you want to do that, go do it. But my wish is that you come back and take care of this enterprise, this industry. So there is Krishna's wish by which he becomes happy, we become happy when we surrender to him and follow his instructions. And then there is the Jiva wish, living entity's wish, by which he becomes entangled, he becomes distressful, and Krishna also becomes very compassionate. He constantly sends his devotees to bring him back and constantly gives him counsel. And when he is adamant, Krishna provides, but gives him warning. By this, you're going to get in trouble. Just like the child, I want to put my hand in that fan, rotating fan, or put my hand and try on that flame, that fire. So the kind father, he will not allow that. But the son is unrelenting. Okay, you do it, and then you will know. So Krishna is there in the hearts. In one incident in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is one great devotee called Haridas Thakur. He would always be chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, even though he was from Mohammedan background. And he used to live in a cave, and people were very fascinated, were very eager to go see him and get his association. But in that cave, they were all afraid to go in because there was a poisonous snake inside that cave. But Haridas Thakur was so unconcerned that he was completely immersed in chanting. And because Krishna is there in the heart of Haridas Thakur as well as the cave, as well as the snake was never harming this devotee. Krishna was guiding through Paramatma. And Krishna saw that these devotees were getting afraid, not just for themselves, but for Haridas Thakur. And so Krishna inspired that snake, and in front of them, the snake left and went away, never to come back. You see how Krishna as Paramatma always guides. Super Soul guides us in every activity. If we are acting for Krishna, Krishna as Paramatma will inspire us to say something, do something. Like when you go to distribute books or raise some funds for the temple. And if you are sincerely desiring, Krishna will make you speak in a way that impresses the other person. Because Krishna knows for his mission what you need to do. Like in Kurukshetra battle, Krishna exactly knew what will happen and how to maneuver. Krishna knew that Bhishma is going to use these arrows. The five arrows is kept aside because Duryodhana was doubting Bhishma's ability. Oh, you are always, these Pandavas are your pet grandchildren. You will never hurt them. And Bhishma became enraged. Said, I'll show you who I am. And these five arrows I've kept aside. Tomorrow I'm going to use them and they'll be vanquished. And Duryodhana, he wanted to be very protective. Let me preserve those arrows for you. I'll give you tomorrow on the battlefield. So he took them with him. And then Krishna knew as Paramatma in the heart. And then he sent Arjuna in the night. And when an enemy goes to the opposite camp in the night, they cannot be harmed. That is the rule of the war. And so Duryodhana welcomed him. Actually, in the night, they were all friends. But in the daytime, they were battling. And in fact, Duryodhana said, oh, you came to beg the kingdom? I'll give it without fighting. Because it is, then Duryodhana will be on the upper hand. He's like a great Kshatriya who has given for a beggar. So that way, the Pandavas will be very humiliated, even though they might have got the kingdom. They would never do that. So Duryodhana said, oh, you want the kingdom? I'll give it. But Arjuna said, no, no, no. You remember one time when the Gandharvas bound you all, we came and released you. We fought, defeated them and released you. And you said at that time, you ask me a boon, I'll give you. I said, when time comes, I will ask. And time has come now. And what is the boon you want? I want those five arrows. And then Duryodhana was so morose. Oh my God, what did I do? He should have been left with Bhishma Dev. But he had to promise, he had to satisfy that promise, and he gave back. So every activity, if your intent is to be Krishna conscious, if your intent is to surrender to Krishna, go back to Godhead, Krishna will guide your every step, every move, every word. in a way that you will be a nice instrument in Krishna's hands. So, this is the power of Paramatma in our heart. Not just devotees, Paramatma is acting on everyone. Prabhupada used to tell this, I forgot the scientist's name, maybe Jagdish Chandra Bose. Yes, I think Jagdish Chandra Bose. He invented, um, Marconi invented something, telegram or something. I'm forgetting, something related to radio messaging. So Marconi is famous for that. But actually, it seems Jagdish Chandra Bose was working together and he invented first. But this, whoever, Marconi or somebody, he had the desire to become famous as the inventor for that. So he was working for that, cherishing that desire for a long time. And then before Jagdish Chandra Bose went and advertised or opened up his invention, he went and said, "Oh, this is my invention." And he became famous. He took the credit. So Super Soul will guide you also. If your intention is to become famous in some way, if your intention is to enjoy this material world in some way, to become the best thief in some way, best businessman, Krishna will guide you in a way that you will become that. He's there in the heart. Okay, you do this. He seems to be acting differently with different people, guiding differently. Why he is guiding devotees in one way, why he is guiding this another person in another way. Very simple. Just like a magistrate. A magistrate is giving different judgments in the court, isn't it? This man should be treated like this. This man should be hanged. This man should be given a reward. This man should be released. The magistrate is the same, but because the culprit is different, therefore he's got to give different judgment. So Paramatma is acting based on the person. We are all persons, we are all spirit souls, but based on our desires, Paramatma is giving guidance. Why one is acting as a dog, as a hog? Why one has become a devata, acting as a devata, demigod, Indra, Chandra, Varuna? Why these differences? We are all Jiva Tattva, living entities. The super soul is same in all everyone's heart. Why everyone is acting differently? This is because the Jivatma is desiring, Paramatma is sanctioning. Bhagavatam says, Yadha hi avahito vahnir darushveka svayonishu naneva bhati vishvatma bhuteshu cha tadha puman. Yadha hi avahito vahnihi darushu. Darushu means wood. Vahni means fire. So if you take wood, every wood, a piece of wood you take, there is fire in it, isn't it? Because when you kindle it with fire, the fire will come out. So you take a small piece of wood, there is small fire. But in a big piece of wood, there is big fire. You know, the fire is same, but according to the size of the wood, the flames, the fire appears to be different. The flame of the fire appears to be different because the wood is different. The living entity has different desire, different types, different modes of natures is cultivated. Karanam guna sangosya sadasad yoni janmasu. Why there are different bodies, even though we are all Atmas? Because of our association, we have cultivated different desires. If you have cultivated a desire to eat anything and everything you want, all kinds of obnoxious things. You'll be given a body of a hog. If you cultivate the desire to be envious, always taking pleasure in harming others, you'll be given the body of a snake. So these desires come from our association. Karanam gunasanga. However, you associate with the modes, that's how you develop these desires. Sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. That is why Shastra is advising very careful about associating with rajo guna and tamo guna. The other day I was talking to my old friend from my college. This was a few years ago. And he said he's facing a problem. What is the problem? Oh, his son always wants to watch this YouTube, particularly these crazy movies. Why? Because from childhood he's been used to that. And even while having haircut, if we have to hold him steady, he had to play that mobile phone and some Bollywood music, song, dance, or something. He got used to that. Karanam gunasanga. The gunas you get associated with, you develop taste for it. And there are of three types: sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. It's up to us to cultivate. If you associate with sattva guna for a long time, you will develop sattva guna tastes. Reading Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavad Gita, hearing about Krishna, chanting the holy names, waking up early in the morning, meditation, visiting the temples, reading, contemplation, associating with godly persons. This will develop sattva guna. But if you associate with karmis, sense gratifiers, sense gratification, then you'll develop rajoguna, tamoguna. And then your next body will be dependent on that. So one has to be very careful in associating with gunas. So the Paramatma is also said here, he is the maintainer of the living entities and he devours everyone also. Why should he devour? Krishna says, Kalosmi lokakshaya krit. When Arjuna asked, when he saw this universal form of Krishna, he became so scared, so terrified. Oh Krishna, who you are? I thought you were just my friend. But looking at this terrifying universal form, I'm completely bewildered. I'm losing my sanity. I want to understand who you are. What is your purpose? And then Krishna says, Kalosmi lokakshayakrit lokan pravruttaha. I am the time factor. I've come here to devour everyone. Everyone here will be devoured. So why will Krishna do that? Why would he do that? Why does Krishna devour everyone? Why doesn't he let everyone live forever with happiness in this world? Why didn't he make it like the spiritual world? Here also everybody should be happy, no? Isn't it? The problem is here in this world, everyone wants to be God. In the spiritual world, everyone serves only one God. So I want to be God, you want to be God, he wants to be God, everyone wants to be God. So there is constant source of conflict. That is why there is law of karma. You do good activity, you get good karma. But if you misuse that karma, Again, next life, you have to face bad karma. You have to be at the receiving end against this person who you hurt. You want to exploit somebody else. Let's say you want to kill and eat. Mamsahara, they say. Mam saha kadati means I am eating that person, and that person in the future will have opportunity to eat me also, to hurt me. So, in order to facilitate this law of karma, there has to be a duration of life in this body, and the next body is given based on our karma. And so, there is devastation. Grasishnu and Prabhavishnu cha. Prabhavishnu means when there is creation again, based on how we ended our previous, when there is material world is devastated, everybody is annihilated. But the desires are stored, just like you go to sleep and you wake up and you resume from where who you were earlier. So who is giving that intelligence? Krishna only is giving that intelligence. Krishna only develops their new bodies when they are born again. Oh, you wanted to be a dog. You get the body of a dog. And this cycle ends when we decide to go back to Godhead. And that happens when you cultivate Sattva Guna and even transcend Sattva Guna. Service to Krishna is beyond even Sattva Guna, because by Sattva Guna you may remain in this world only as a intelligent person. You will get nice happiness as a Brahmana, as a Gnani, but you will still be bound. But by cultivating service attitude to God, surrendering to God, then you will transcend even attachment to Sattva Guna. Your attachment will be to Krishna in the spiritual world. So gradually chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and cultivating service attitude and gradually serving Krishna, then we can transcend all the gunas and go back to Godhead. I'll stop here. Anyone has any questions or comments? Bhagavad Gita as it is ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.